welcome to a new episode of Hot Mic, your favorite weekly CWL show. We've got some of the best players in Call of Duty history. We actually have an incredibly stacked panel today, and we're going to be kicking things off with a young phenom, the Tiny Terror. We've got Simp from E United. Buddy, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah, I bet you are doing well. You're coming off insane performance, but you're a very new player, so I kind of want to dive into a little bit and just help people at home maybe get to know you a little bit. So let's get into it. You're one of the newest additions to the CWL. Tell us about your come up in Call of Duty, kind of how you got started.
To be in competitive Call of Duty, I just started playing with friends, really. And just, we played XP matches back in Ghosts and Wagers in AW. And then just, after that, they stopped really playing. And then I just started playing tournaments in Black Ops 3, and that's when I kind of just blew up.
Started to blow up? Yeah, no, I remember that very well back in Black Ops 3, because I remember Jack and I were streaming and playing League Player, playing Wagers, and whether it was you, Skies, Racine and Blast, we saw all these young guys kind of coming up. We were trying to play with them so you guys could carry us in a lot of our wager matches. But no, I remember that vividly. But let's talk then about you joining E United. I want to talk about when you first joined on the, cadet team, because you came in early before you were actually in the pro team. What was that like for you?
It was really eye-opening experience, just because that was the first really time we had a title, because at the time we were just playing S&D, just for fun, for money. But once we joined the cadets, we had a purpose to kind of just help a team out and be a part of a team. Well,
you were really helping them with what? It was search and destroy, because a lot of pro league teams, if you guys aren't familiar at home, a lot of the pro league teams don't scrim, search, and destroy. They don't want to give away strats. They don't want to help their competition. You guys came in and really helped elevate their search and destroy game, right?
Yeah, we helped as much as we could, just try and help them learn scenarios and clutch scenarios and all that stuff.
Were you smoking them in those? I'm just curious.
Part, yeah.
I figured you guys probably were. All right, well, let's keep it going forward kind of over the course of your career here. So you end up going, I believe, on loan to FaZe, where you guys make the run at the amateur bracket at Fort Worth. Right after that is when you kind of move up to the main roster. But what was that period like between kind of winning the amateur tournament and sequencing over into being a pro player?
Kind of stressful at first, just because I wasn't sure if I was going to join a pro team, let alone this year. But even after Fort Worth, it was I wasn't expecting all that to happen so fast.
So you didn't know at the time, you didn't know at that tournament that right after that you were likely hopping into the main roster?
I did not.
When did you find that out?
A week after the tournament, or a week or two. It was sometime after the tournament.
It would have been a crazy week for you, winning the amateur bracket and getting put on a pro team.
Yeah.
With everything else that you have going on with your life, which we'll talk about a little bit later in it. So you had, I think it's safe to say, you had the greatest rookie performance we've ever seen in a tournament. I don't remember your stats exactly, but they were absurd. You were somewhere around a 1-3 in respawns. I think it was 1-8 search and destroy. You were an absolute monster. How cool was that for you to have a breakout performance like that at your first major event?
It was really cool just to, be able to just fry everybody at that point.
I bet.
Personally. Honestly, I wasn't expecting to do that good at my first event, but now that I know I can do it, hopefully I can carry on and just do the same thing.
Well, I thought it was wild too, because it was an international event too, where we've seen sometimes, whether it's jet lag or travel, whatever it can be, where some North American players don't perform as we expect them to, and you just showed up and had an event like that. It was pretty insane. So you've had how much of the pro league? You've joined during what, the first 2 weeks of crossplay, right? Or we had 1 week of crossplay?
I was only here for 1 week of crossplay.
The 1 week of crossplay. Did you have any big takeaways, maybe a lesson learned from your first kind of period inside of the pro league?
As a team, yeah, just because we used that cross division as kind of a base of where we were at, just because we only had a few days of practice leading to the cross division. So we went 3-1, and the only loss we had was to LG last map. And we thought that was the best loss we could have got, just for the fact that they just won the event. And it was a good base to see how well we can handle composure and scenarios and all that kind of stuff.
Well, what did you feel like, obviously I think you exceeded everybody's expectations, whether it was at the Pro League or at London. What did you feel like the community's expectations were of you, considering how, I think everyone had you pegged as the rising star for years. What did you feel like expectations were for you coming from the community heading into these events?
Heading into London?
Yeah.
There was I think everyone thought that I was just going to be good in the open bracket for the most part. So doing good at London, it was kind of really...
A little different.
Yeah. It was oh, now everyone knows, oh, wait, he can actually play against pros.
Yeah, that put you on the map, that's for sure. I want to talk, so are you the only player in the Pro League, because I know you're 18, are you the only one currently juggling, high school and Pro League and tournaments?
I'm not sure, but I think so.
I think so. I know you've talked about it on Twitter. Maybe some others are doing it and haven't been as vocal about it, but yeah. I believe you're probably the only one. What difficulties has that presented for you trying to juggle high school and also the CWL?
I mean, just a little bit of stress and time management, just because once I get back to New York where I live, it's like I have to get all my schoolwork done before the next time I leave. So it's like, it's just a back and forth kind of thing before I graduate.
So you're basically just you miss like a week or two, you have to grind it all out, and that like week or two before you leave again is basically how it works out?
Yeah, while I'm grinding it out, we take a couple days off the script, like to not scrim so I can do my work. So it's like.
Well, how I guess I want to know, because I think it's probably shifted quite a bit with esports becoming bigger and bigger and more accepted kind of culturally. But I can think back, 5 years ago where this would have been a very difficult situation for some players to do. Maybe their schools wouldn't allow them to do it. What was that like? Did you have to go through the principal? Like, how did that work out for you?
At first it was really stressful, just because I had to talk to my guidance counselor, the deans, and the principal. And it's just like, I have to handle everything with all my teachers and tell them like where I'm going, what I'm doing, just so I can get the work to make it up. So, and like even at first, I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to do it, like even be able to have the chance to make up the work and all that.
Didn't you say ultimately you had to like write a letter to your principal or something? You told me.
Yeah, I have to write a letter to her just to explain like why I'm missing so many days. And like
this is how much money I'm making?
Like, say it's like a job, yeah.
I'm making your salary at this upcoming event. Can I please head to it? But no, I appreciate it. No, it's been very impressive. I mean, your results on LAN have been astronomical considering how young a player you are, and the fact you're juggling both is very, very cool. But thanks. That's going to do it for the one-on-one. We've got more guests to join us. We've got Octane from 100 Thieves, Temp from Splice to hop on. We'll be right back after this quick break. Hello and welcome back to Hot Mic. We've got a stacked lineup here. We've got probably, I think you could argue, the best ICR, maybe the best SOG right now. And what would you consider yourself the best?
Best do it all. Best hard carry goat overlord.
We've got that.
Got that too.
97 overall, dude.
God, no, you guys are incredible players. This is gonna be a lot of fun. But real quick, just want to see how you guys are doing. Temp, you got in safely. Excited to be gaming with the squad.
Yeah, we'll be. I'm kind of excited, I love playing COD. I'm ready to get focused up for the matches. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you're coming off a very different situation than my guy next to me. How you doing, Sam?
I'm ready to get focused for my matches.
Yeah, you are. Ready to get dialed in and destroy.
Dialed in.
Okay, all right. Well, let's talk about how different your two scenarios were. We had a long one-on-one with Simp, so I want to catch up with you guys a little bit. All right, Temp, we'll start with you. You guys were probably the most consistent open tournament team coming into London. Then you guys, got top 12, was not the result you expected. Has that put some extra pressure on you guys heading back into the Pro League, considering that result?
No. I mean, it's kind of one of those situations where you get top 12 and now we're just playing with, we got nothing to lose. So
okay. It's like less pressure in a way.
Yeah, less pressure. We've been playing pretty bad, so we just going in with no pressure, just try to get some wins.
How have you guys been scrimming much leading into this?
Listen, we gonna show up.
Oh, Splice
we'll play good. We're probably gonna play better than we would.
I'm taking Splice 7-0, bro.
So
Splice 7-0?
7-0.
Okay.
Hey, you know the vibes.
I'm excited. All right, and then for you, very different result. You guys obviously win. You win MVP. Got to be kind of riding high for 100 Thieves right now.
It's a little bit different than my other wins because the other open wins that I have was a well-rounded performance out of everyone, and our S&D was absolutely terrible. So, when you win an event, you don't necessarily get complacent, but you're like, okay, we're the best at everything. We don't need to get better. But I think because we weren't good at S&D, it gave us a chip on our shoulder to, keep proving and keep grinding. So we're in a good spot right now.
Well, how have you been trying to kind of stay sharp?
Playing hella S&D, man. We played dumb chows. Hopefully we got better. I feel like we got better.
Okay, well, I guess we'll have to wait and find out. What about, how cool was that you guys all flew out to LA, right, to hang out with Nate after the victory, did a little party and had a good time?
As soon as we got off stage, Matt FaceTimed us all. He was like, we're going to LA and we're going out. It's going to be great. And then, so we flew out to LA a couple days later, and then we got Louis bags and spoiled and ran it up.
No, that had to be a great time. But how cool was it to, I guess, you saw the video from Nate after you guys won. He seemed like a little kid on Christmas.
Oh, it was crazy.
He was so excited. Was it pretty awesome?
Won.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome to share that moment with him.
That was dope. I said a lot, but I've never wanted to win for someone else before. It was a cool experience because whenever we're around him, he always just get me one. All I need is one. Just get me one.
Yeah, now he's like, get me 10, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's like, all right, now just give me 7 more. So it was a dope experience. I'm happy that we were able to win for him.
More work to do, though. We got the big events around the corner. We have Anaheim, Miami,
Tip
Champs.
the iceberg.
Yep, absolutely is. But now we're going to transition into our TCL clip of the week. This, unfortunately, has one of your former longtime teammates. Let's roll the clip, and we'll have a laugh about it and chat a bit.
So Parsons going to hold on for just a second till the spawns come in. They're going to connect with a couple. The LG members in the back trying to stay alive. They're able to do so, but Formal and Slacked just trying to wait for reinforcements as Pars is still back. Able to find a second.
I kind of want to hear from you guys, and we can start with you. That was obviously a wild 180. We see them, a couple of them over the course of the year. Do you have one gunfight in your career that sticks out, where you either got smoked or just destroyed somebody?
Just in like the pro league, like pro.
No, just in general. It could have been you turned on a grandma 10 years ago.
Not off the top of my head. No.
No, all right, nothing. What about you, Tim?
Well, the last time I got smoked was versus Pristini, and it was in a league match on Payload S&D, and I was like R spawn heaven, and I just got smoked, and we got 1v3'd, I think. So that was bad. But me smoking people, I smoke people all the time. So
That's just what you do?
Just watch my gameplay for a day, and you'll see some.
Yeah, I like that confidence.
One just doesn't stick out. I just do it all the time.
There's been so many
All
that
the time.
it's a blur at this
Yeah,
point.
you'll just take notes.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I need to. I've been trying to. I'm going for esports rookie of the year right now after my blackout win, so I'll make sure to take notes of that. What about for you? Anything that really sticks out?
Nah, I probably get turned on more than I'd care to admit. But I mean, like Don, I've been around the block, dude. You just gotta watch. It's crazy. It's nuts.
All right, well let's keep going to the show. We're gonna now talk kind of about your weekly schedule. So let's focus on the Pro League now. We chatted a little bit about London, but it's in the past now. We're gonna focus on the Pro League and heading forward to all the big tournaments we have coming up. So can we take a look at the schedule to see what you guys have on the board this week? So this. Oh, well, now we're going to find out who you play. So what do we got? 100 Thieves you play?
Nile, Envy, and Heretics. Not bad.
Okay.
Not a bad first week.
So like I could take over by myself at least 3 out of 4 of those. At least. It's looking
3
like
out
a
of 4.
takeover. It's looking like a takeover Monday, Tuesday, Thursday at least, bare minimum.
What, so E6 elevate denial? You're just smoking them?
Nah. I'm not saying we're smoking them. I'm saying me. It's a personal takeover those days at least. And then Wednesday, I might have to dig deep and take that one over too. I might just take over the whole
You have to dig real deep.
Well, for Simp, though, you have a pretty tough schedule in the sense that you play, E6, you play Splice, you play Envy. What are your guys' thoughts on Envy coming off like the top 4 finish? Do you guys think they have potential to be title contenders or really improve over the course of these 2 weeks?
They made a role change. So
What was the role change?
I think Jay is running their main ICR now instead of Pat, because Pat had like a .42. That's gas. He had like a .8. But
Okay, I was saying .42. That's not good.
It wasn't that bad.
That's not good at all.
No, but Jay's been running their main IR, or main ICR. So out of scrims have been going pretty much the same for them result-wise since we played them. So.
Okay. What do you think about your matchups versus like Splice and Envy? As far as
Just them,
They beat us in every map in scrims, so they're probably feeling very confident.
Yeah, I still think it's gonna be tough though a little bit, just because land's always different. But
you've just been torching them.
Yeah, bad.
yeah, to be honest, yeah.
They torch
Bro,
everyone.
we put them in the blender and controls,
Real
bro.
bad.
In the
They
blender.
torch everyone,
The
dude.
trolls we don't even try, but the hard points, real bad.
Oh my God, this is going to be a fun week. I've been excited. It's
very
like,
fun.
We had the 2 weeks of Division A, and then I'm always just excited to see the new teams come in because obviously there are a lot of team changes that went down to see if you guys have the similar performances of what you had in London, see if you guys can rebound. So this should be a whole lot of fun. But let's transition and not talk about the league as much and just kind of get into the player intel side of this. And this is just more talking about emotions, players, not as much about the actual matchups. And I think we need to highlight LG a little bit. They've been probably the biggest surprise. Now Gunless has been benched or benched himself. I don't even know what the hell's going on there. Ricky has started to play for them. We'll start with you. I want to hear from all of you guys. But what maybe your POV on this is a little bit different because you're a newer player, younger player, haven't dealt with maybe as much of the internal drama as some of these guys have. But what's your take on this LG situation?
I mean, honestly, just when you watch them in the Pro League, they just don't look happy. They just don't look like they want to be there.
Yeah.
But once Gunless got benched and Ricky came on, they were all looking like they were having a great time in that last match against Optic. So I don't know, maybe it was something with the vibes.
Well, Sam, I want to ask you, so you've dealt with some players in your history that can be toxic or difficult to play with. For you, watching this externally, is a lot of this on Gunless?
I think it's on everyone. I think that is a problem that probably could have been fixed a while ago if they all just got on the same page, which obviously isn't something that's super easy. But I mean, I've played with Nick and Jerry before. I know the types of players that they are, and they want to win. and they usually set aside their differences with other people to be able to do that. But this whole Pierce situation, it's kind of gotten blown out of proportion to the point where the team is kind of over, to be honest. Like, once you bench yourself or get benched, it's like, all right, dude, like.
Well, you team with, and I'm not saying they're the same person, but as far as bumping heads with people, they're different. But Slasher's obviously caught flack for that in the past. What's it been like teaming with Slasher? Have you had issues with that at all?
I have Austin's anger translator now, so it's okay.
Who's the anger translator?
Chris. We have Chris now.
Oh, so he's. We have a question later in the show.
If y'all have seen the Key and Peele skit of the anger translator, Austin just yells, just very loudly, just obscenities and yells, and then Chris is like, okay, guys, what he actually means. And then everyone's like, oh.
That's perfect.
And then
That's perfect.
We move on.
Well, it seems to be working for you guys. Temp, what about you? This LG situation.
Well, I think from what I hear, just from the players, a good amount of the problem is on Pierce, but obviously it's not his side of the story. But just from the outside looking in, playing against them, Pierce has been their best player all year. So obviously, I mean, you're benching your best player, so I don't know. He's got to be doing something wrong if you're benching your best player, who's one of the best players in the game. So.
Well, I want to ask you. So we know that this team was able to manage a poor situation before because they were back to the first week. They were horrible. They rebounded. They ended up winning an event. But I guess when, in your guys' experience, and I'll start with you, Tim. When do you know it's just not salvageable anymore? Like, what is the breaking point within a team?
When you feel like no one's giving effort to improve, like you're getting on practicing and you're just complaining about everything. No one's like, you're not like giving it time. You just want, I mean, they just won, so anything other than winning is just not, it's not acceptable in their mind. So, like, they're scrimming, they're losing every map, they're not winning matches, it just gets worse and worse, and you're just like, there's no coming back from this.
What about for you, Simp? I know maybe not as much experience as these guys, but even back to your S&D experience with teams or players you play with all the time, is there just a breaking point where it's like, I just can't play with these guys anymore?
Yeah, I kind of agree with him, thinking like when you get on and you're not trying to get better, you're kind of just getting on, just to play. I think once that happens, and every day it's like an argument or a fight, I think at that team it's just chalked.
Well, do you think, Sam, is there anything, it might be too late now, I think we can all agree. Is there something that they could have done differently to fix this?
Just sat down in a room and had a come to Jesus meeting and understood what the problem is and how to fix it. I think they all just, there's too many cooks in the kitchen on that team, and I think they all just want to play a certain way. And Pierce is a very overbearing, from what I've heard, so I think that he was just trying to be louder than all of them.
Would it have helped to have, and I don't know Ricky's dynamic with the team as a coach, but do you think maybe having somebody like Crowder to help manage that situation would have been huge?
Chris fixed us. We were terrible. So maybe. I mean, I don't know how good a coach Rick is, but I'm assuming that he helped a little bit, but I think it was just too far gone by the time that he might have got there.
Okay. Well, let's transition now out of kind of talking about LG. I mean, this is sort of a secondary question to this, is like the team changes that'll happen likely as a result of this. But what's interesting is the team change window, it's like 3 days that's after Anaheim. But all this scheming has to start it now. And you got to think for 100 Thieves, I mean, you're in a good spot. Yeah, stop. E United, you're in a good spot. Splice, in a good spot?
Look real nice over there, Don.
Well, I guess my question, I feel like a lot of the decisions to make changes are going to happen before Anaheim because they need to, considering how short the window is after Anaheim. Sam, how much is that going to impact performances in teams at Anaheim?
Someone's getting a free event win. Someone's getting a real free event win. I don't know what's going on, man. Everyone's in shambles, so we'll see.
And that's got to pay dividends for you, who guys seem solid as a rock.
Going into an event, man, if you're not confident in your team, you're not going to win. Like, no one's ever won an event like, wow, we suck, and then won. Like, that's not a thing, dude. So, I don't know.
I think Anaheim's going to be insane. What about for you? Like, you think Anaheim's going to be a whirlwind?
The other way. I'm looking at it from a complete opposite way.
Okay.
I think because all these teams are in shambles that they're about to do something crazy. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I mean, like I said, you go into the series with nothing to lose, good stuff can happen. You just go out there and actually play the game.
Because the pressure's off.
No pressure to win.
To counter my own point, we won Anaheim and IW right after we tried to drop Nato for Pierce.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Like literally a week later.
And Nato had like the event of his career.
Yeah, it was Father's Day. He was happy as could be.
I remember that. I remember he was absolutely dominating.
Damn, I just contradicted myself. That's tough.
That's I think there's two sides to it. I think teams could crumble or, with no pressure on the line. But how do you guys obviously got a top 2 finish. You played brilliantly. Which side of this do you feel? You think it's going to be like easier for you guys in the sense of some teams being in shambles, or I don't know, like kind of trap series against teams?
I mean, honestly, probably a mix. Like some teams, like Sam said, are going to be just like not giving any performance, like they're not going to be trying that hard. But then there's going to be other teams who are like, some people like are going to go so hard because they're not trying to get dropped.
Well, and this is also like you might see some more selfish play in the sense of like if you know the period's coming off right after, if you have a big, I mean, it's a good chance to raise your stock. A good chance to raise your stock, absolutely. So it's going to be a free for all. I feel like at Anaheim. All right. This is, I think this applies to you more recently, but all of you guys have had your moment where you're breakout players. You talked about the fact that you were 3 of the best players in the league right now. I guess I'm just kind of curious to hear from you guys kind of when that clicked, like when you know that you were going to be God, that you knew you were going to be incredible within the CWL. Temp, what was that moment for you where you're like, oh, people are in trouble?
I mean, I don't know. It was like, I guess in AW when I thought I was a god. Ever since then, even in World War II,
You refer to yourself as the overlord of the video.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even in World War II, I was getting 8th, 12th, top 24. I always knew it wasn't all on me. I'm still good. So I just always have that confidence. I think it's just, COD is like mostly mental. If you think you're gonna do good, you're most likely gonna do good. It's hard. I've never felt in my life where I'm like, oh, I think I'm gonna do good, and I just go and just perform bad. It's never happened to me yet. So
All right.
I don't know. It's just ever since I can remember, I've been confident. I don't know.
No, confidence is it's huge in anything. I mean, absolutely. Even hell in my job, if I don't have confidence, my casting is horrible. So I totally get that. Now for you, maybe a little bit different, but I guess did that breakout moment happen back when you were an S&D star and watching the Pro League and thinking, wow, I can do that? Or did it happen more recently when you showed yourself that you could get it done on a major land?
I mean, it first started in Black Ops 3 when I just started like taking over the Search and Destroy community, just winning all those big tournaments and all that stuff. And then, again, like more recently after London, just a huge confidence boost.
I imagine that was a huge one. That was an incredible performance. And Octane, lastly for you, when did it click?
AW.
I guess. I didn't even do anything in AW, though. I guess, like, 3rd at Worlds on Elevate when I smoked your
Beat him the next day.
chill. Beat him 1-1.
Lord God. All right, well.
Probably there, though.
As another kind of piece of this, talking about the breakout moment, this would be kind of you guys answering and maybe directed at Simp or any kind of young players. I want to hear from you. Now that you're this far in your career, you're no longer considered like a young player at this point. Yeah, I think so. I think
veteran?
I'm
I'm a
a
low-key
veteran at this
veteran
point.
too. Low key.
Yeah, you are.
I think so. I mean, you're still younger age-wise, but you just have a lot of experience. So, if you could give one piece of advice to your rookie version of yourself, so like your first year, looking back, you could be like, Sam LaRue, you need to know this.
Listen to Danny.
Listen to Danny.
Listen to Danny, dude. Dude, when I was on Rise.
And that's Looney, just for
Looney, yeah, Looney. When I was on Rise, I was an egotistical, just jackass, man. I was terrible. Like, Danny would yell at me. He's like Austin now, except I don't butt heads with Austin because I know he's right. He's like my dad.
Yeah,
I just
okay.
don't want to argue with him. And when I was on Rise, I would argue with Danny just for the sake of arguing with him. And I would never agree, and I was just a hard-headed person. And I would have been way better at Call of Duty if I just listened to him, but I was an idiot.
So just more like mature a little bit faster.
Yeah, just drop the ego and don't be dumb.
So drop the ego. I like that. Temp, what about for you?
Kind of sort of the same thing. Just like drop the ego, be more patient with things, not try to just be like so like, oh, we got to win right now or like it's over with. Or just, I don't know, just be more patient with things and play S&D because I never played S&D. So if you would look at like every time I would like look at my event stats, I'd always play really good in respawn and have a 0.8 in search because I never played S&D. I just never knew how to play it. And then going into this game, I was playing singles every day, playing S&D, and now I think I'm pretty good at it. So those are probably the 2 biggest things.
Okay, all right. And, well, I guess Simp, it's hard to ask you the same question just based on where you are in your career, but hearing what they're saying about like kind of avoiding the egotistical side of things, coming off an event like London, how are you going to manage not to have your ego through the roof? Because confidence is one thing, but you definitely have players on your team that you could bump heads with if the ego popped off a little too much.
I mean, we just gotta listen to like our coach and just try and let him try and dictate everything so that we don't just butt heads.
Get Bryce to tell you suck every day. He'll be down to earth.
I don't know, bro. On the Crowder's podcast, he called me 5 foot of ice, bro.
He did say that.
The extreme.
Well, how important do you think Bryce has been to your team, and especially to you, kind of being the new young guy?
I think he's helped a lot just with, helping our team composure and our confidence and stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was curious what that change would be like, because I thought you guys probably needed a coaching change. I thought Vicento made sense in a lot of ways for that type of thing. I mean, he's I don't know. he's got a good brain for Call of Duty, and I'm excited to see what he can do with you guys. But that's actually going to take us. We're already to our final segment. We're cruising through stuff. We're going to get into the community comms. Yeah, I'm trying to get you home because you showed up. So I told him. So for those of you that don't know, we pre-record this and it's live the next day. We handle it on Sunday and then it's live for the matches.
Wall, man.
Yeah, no, I know. But I told him to be here at like 11:30. What time? You're at 10:40?
10:40.
Yeah. So
First of all,
we get to spend some time together.
First of all, the email says 11. And I'm a punctual person because I hate when people waste my time.
I appreciate you being punctual. I do. And we got to spend some alone time together, didn't we?
Man, I did it for you.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that. Let's get into community comms. Let's get to the first question. I believe we have 3. Some of them go out to the individuals, some go out to all the guys. This one's for Octane. What does Coach Crowder bring to your team that you're missing before in order to win a championship? So you mentioned this stuff with Slasher. Is that the single biggest thing?
Yeah. Austin is really not great at conveying his points. He's a really smart Call of Duty player. He just shoots really straight, but he is not great at telling you when you're wrong. But now we got Chris, so Chris is great at telling me when I'm wrong.
Oh, I think you guys could all use just communication counseling.
Ian actually said that at one of our blowouts that we had with Jay on the team. We like got smoked in a scrim or something, and then we were there for like 2 hours afterwards just arguing in a call. And he was like, "You guys don't know how to talk to each other. Go take communication class. You're all idiots. Don't call me. Don't text me. I'm not scrimming anymore." And then just got off.
Well, outside of the communication stuff, is there anything maybe in-game he's been really helpful with, or is it more just the kind of the relationship and keeping your heads level?
I think it's just facilitating like everyone on the team's individual growth. Like if we want to go over theater, if we tell them like watch us a day, and then like at the end of the day we'll come back like, okay, you messed up here, here, and here. It's just a more in-depth look at all of our individual performance that helps a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I play duos with him every morning on Blackout, and he coaches me every day. So I imagine, the trauma that I'm putting him through in the morning probably helps your team down the stretch.
Yeah, he gets on just pissed off.
I want some of those event wins, the winnings, the money.
15%.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. All right.
8%?
Yeah, lift 8%. Damn it. Let's get to the next question for our community comms. Is there any pro notorious for being the hardest kill? I'm sure Temp thinks it's him. Temp, who do you think is the hardest kill in the game for you? Like, if you just know you have a gunfight and you're like, damn it, it's him again. Nobody.
I mean, bro, to be honest, like, I can't. If people ask that in my chat, I'm like, bro, like, there's not a hard kill in the game. Like, everyone dies in the same speed. Like, it's.
You know, I feel like one person I've heard that for.
Rested.
I've heard like Hook. I've heard that about him before.
Kyler,
years
no.
past. No?
I be frying him for real.
There's hard counter.
Yeah. So I don't know.
My teammate, bro.
Anybody for you?
Impossible to kill. Preston, dude. Guy's terrible. I hate him.
Just
every day I'm so thankful he's on my team. Whenever I play him in 8s or like if he's on another team in league play, I'm like, dude, thank God.
What I guess I'm curious. What about it makes it
just
such a hard
like
kill?
his movement around the map, like just annoying. It's like Simp. Shoulder everything, shot punch me.
Shot punch.
What about for you?
I'm going with Donnie, bro. I don't think anyone's that hard to kill, bro.
All right, we are not lacking in confidence on this desk, but all
Drop
right.
the egos, everyone sucks.
All right, let's get to. I think we got a couple more. Let's take a look through the next question. Is there anything you've taught your team considering they have been through every scenario? So, Simp, I think this is an interesting question because you come into a team that has, I mean, one of the longest standing veterans in Clayster. So, I mean, it might be difficult to teach him anything, but is there something that maybe you come in as the young player where you've felt like you've kind of taught the team?
I mean, when I first joined, I helped their control out and their S&D a lot, just because none of them knew how to play their life, bro. They're all just running around, trying to get kills. But yeah, when we joined, we got a lot better at those two.
So mostly control.
And S&D, control and S&D.
Well, S&D. I mean, you were absolutely nuts at London, so that makes sense. Like we've seen the individual plays for you at London, like whether it's behind the Paladin or it felt like you were dropping basically double digits every single time when you were on the map. But how have you helped, I guess, your team in Search?
Just helping them trying to learn scenarios and try and group up and just use our numbers to our advantage and stuff like that.
Just the little stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, wait, hold up. You just be like, yo, Clay, go camp in the back. I'm gonna get this 2-piece real quick, yeah?
Yo, if y'all lose this round after I get this 2-piece, that's on y'all. I'm gonna go get 2. Y'all can handle the rest.
Y'all gotta get the 3 at least.
I think you have one more question. I believe that's going to be for Simp as well. I guess they want to know how agonizing it was for you to wait to turn 18. I mean, we know that you were able to win the amateur tournament. Before that, you were just kind of waiting in the wings. So I think, Temp, you could probably speak to this as well. But how tough was it seeing, these tournaments go on, just knowing that you had the ability to be in there and dominate?
Bro, I'm sure Donnie can agree with me. It was tough, bro. It was so tough.
Imagine you getting banned right now.
Dude, like,
So I got second and got banned from competing for a year and a half.
You played a whole
god
year
of like
8s.
Of 8s. I was playing Halo 5. I was playing anything, bro. I literally was just sitting there like, couldn't do nothing.
Nah, it was.
Well, now you got your chance.
No, yeah, I know. Now I'm cool, but
No, I'm sure at the time that was tough.
It
Yeah,
was
I mean that's when the Call of Duty World League started. So you
I feel like I
right at
was
that
just
bubble.
about to go onto a team where I could have won. Like I felt like I was going into Austin won Black Ops 3 COD champs. I was going into Black Ops 3 with Austin and Kyler. We were probably gonna drop Nick for someone, and then we was about to win. And then next thing you know, whoop! Now I'm at IW champs with Ricky and Jay, a coach and a analyst. So that's how that went.
I loved him.
Yeah.
I do.
That way.
But gentlemen, I think that's going to do it. We've got the matches upcoming. Division B is here. Then we've got Anaheim right around the corner, playoffs, champs, everything. But appreciate you guys all coming on. You are all phenomenal Call of Duty players. Excited to see what you can do over the course of the next 2 weeks. But for those of you at home, thank you for watching. Let's get right into the matches.